I love this. Namaste. Namaste. Peace morning to you all, whether you're watching this live or not. Maybe you're watching the recording. Cool. Peace out, brothers and sisters. This is Shantal from She Achieves Studio in She Achieves Studio. I'm just following the vibe of life lately, and I really want to be able to offer maybe a gentle space where people can just tap out for a few moments and be somewhere else, connect to a higher frequency than the everyday stuff that you got to do. And in essence, that's why I'm here. So today, this is just sort of a morning pop-up card pull, and I'm going to be in a yoga pose because I just got tired of sitting in Sukhasana. Doing the card pull is like I sit in Kundalini for the Soba Kriya, and then I'm sitting with lovelies when they come into the studio, and then I'm sitting to do the card pull. It's like I got to get some movement in my body, man, because we are human feelings. We are human feelings. We feel. We are meant to feel. We're meant to have emotions. What I think that sometimes we forget is that we're meant to move through those feelings, and we're meant to move through those emotions, and we're meant to move our bodies. And we get so hung up on how we move our bodies, and we have to do it this way. We have to do it for that long. So sometimes you just got to move your body. And that's what I'm doing. Now, whether or not you join me in the yoga pose, I'm going to leave that up to you. I'm just doing it because it feels good for my body, and I'm supporting myself. So let me get into what was the pose? Oh, I know. I was going to come into Janu Shirshasana. One pose that I'm not usually fond of, and that's all the more reason to do it. So we've got some cards this morning. We've got the yoga cards and the enchanted map cards. Okay. So the yogic path cards, I've been using those cards quite a bit recently because I'm promoting GUNA Yoga School. It's a 200-hour registered yoga school teacher training. Now, this is for people who may want to teach yoga to others in the future, or it's also for people who have no interest in teaching yoga, yet seek a high caliber of training, because this is a teacher training, whether you use it for employment or not. It doesn't matter. It's going to create a solid foundation for you to move through with action and intention, with love. You're going to learn how to speak the truth. You're going to learn the importance of sound frequency and how whatever thoughts come in to your mind go into the body, even if you don't speak them out loud. And you'll also learn how to project that sound frequency in a manner that you actually project what you want. Okay. And then it's also going to offer you a vast amount of wisdom and intuitive knowledge as well. I'm going to help you connect with your intuition. And then we go into a sense of peace and silence. So it's really the whole meal deal. It's an amazing training, and it's limited to 6 people. So I'm not having this to be something really big, because I feel that it's important to be able to consolidate this information and then be able to expand it and then sustain it. Okay. So there's information on sheachievestudio.com. Also, if you'd like, go ahead and subscribe to the email collective on sheachievestudio.com, so you receive emails under the full moon and new moon. Okay, it's very cool. And I've got blogs there and a whole bunch of reviews as well. So that's on sheachievestudio.com. And I am here in Janu Shirshasana. I'm all about props. I feel that props help support us. And sometimes the ego's like, well, I'm not using a prop. I don't need a prop. I can do this. Well, sometimes the ego is just asking for support and it doesn't even know it. That's what I found anyways. So let's call on some sacred space. I'm going to put this bolster here for a moment. And whether you join me or not, I'll leave that up to you. Rub the hands together, create some friction, unite yin and yang, masculine and feminine. And we breathe into the belly, connect to the belly, the navel, into the third eye. Soften the jaw, feel the tongue, breathe out. Beautiful. And we call upon this sacred space in all the universal entirety. We call upon the gunas, sattva, rajas, and tamas. We call upon all of the guides and the overseers who guide us and protect us in love and light. Thank you. Yes, I love it. That's it. We can do it. We can do it that way. So we have the yogic path cards. Oh, and I see that there is a card that does not belong. Look at you trying to sneak into the party this morning. Nice try. As I shuffle the cards, I invite you to feel into how you're breathing right now, right in this moment, without changing it. How are you breathing? What is the breath? How does it taste? How does it sound? How does it feel? How do you see the breath moving through the body? Like what sound does it make? Do you hear your breath? Do you feel the breath? So breath is really important because it gives us life. If you're not a believer that breath and the direction of breath is important, try living without it in all seriousness, because the breath is our greatest gift. It brings us life. When we no longer have breath, we no longer have life. Yet it's part of our life, I think sometimes, and I'm speaking for me, that we take for granted. I take for granted sometimes until I started practicing yoga. And the yoga path for me was very painful. I'm not even gonna lie to you about it, because it was super, super painful for me. I didn't like it. I had all these emotions because at the time I was working through a lot of, how shall I say, intensity in my life. Okay, to put it sweetly. And the nervous system inside of me was highly elevated. I was in a high state of, we call it arousal. And the sympathetic nervous system, I was always on fight or flight for many, for many, many years. Okay. And then I discovered yoga. It sort of salt and peppered into my life. And I tried it for about 5 minutes and I walked out. It was like, nope, I'm good. Peace out. See you later. And then maybe about 6 months later, I tried it again. I lasted about literally 10 minutes. It was at Only Women's Fitness in Calgary, where I was personal training. I was a fitness director there for many years. And I tried it and I wanted to pee. I wanted to scream. I wanted to go to sleep. I wanted to eat a hamburger. I wanted to meditate. I didn't want to meditate. I went back to my childhood. I went into the future. I clenched my jaw. I relaxed my jaw. I was shaking. I was laughing. Like I just had all of this explosion of energies come out. And like, wow, in hindsight, looking back at that opportunity, which it was an experience, that was the first, I think, like allowing the mind to start to reorchestrate a little bit and come out of that sympathetic high arousal state that I was in. And from there, over the course of, I'm going to say 5 years, easy, it was a journey stemming from that one little ignition, that spark plug that just lit. Okay. And then from there, I didn't force it, because I really don't believe in forcing things, even though I still do. Hey, we're human, man. We're having the human experience. Okay. So it's not about not forcing. It's not about not feeling. It's about being in relationship with all of that. Okay. So you have a better command. So then 5 years later, I'm finding myself taking a fusion course. at with Helen Vanderberg at oh man, where was that? That was in Edmonton. It was Fusion. It was a long, long time ago. And that was sort of Pilates, yoga, and fitness. So I was starting, do you see it? I was starting to ease my way into the yogic path without jumping full throttle because I wasn't there yet. So I had to have a lot of self-compassion. So I worked with what I had. I knew fitness. I've been in personal training and in fitness for over 30 years. I've competed. I've hold a pro figure card. You know, I came third in nationals, which was pretty good. And so, you know, I've had that run. I knew what I was doing with fitness, and I think it gave me a little bit of a buffer to ease into something I wasn't steady in. So have you ever felt that you wanted to do something and then you jump into it like 200%? I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to go full throttle, balls to the wall kind of thing. And then you get there and you're like, whoa, wait a minute. I got no stability. I don't know what I'm doing. And then something happens and you're not able to sustain it. Well, I did that in the past. So this taking that fusion course, it allowed me not to do that. So I had the buffer of fitness. And then I had Pilates, which I was familiar with already. And then I dabbled into the yoga part of it. So I still had a little bit of solidity, a little bit of grounding and security to hold me while I was unsteady with yoga. And yoga, in essence, is finding steadiness and ease. And whether we're finding steadiness and ease in the pose, in the asana, in the posture, or whether we're trying to find steadiness and ease in something in our life that is completely like unrailed, like just derailed completely, or whether we're just trying to sustain steadiness and ease. Okay. So it's important to be able to find a sense of security somewhere, yet not get stuck in that security. However, sometimes we need to because that's where we're at. So in essence, just honor where you're at and be mindful of that energy that's either stuck or moving too fast. So moving along, so I took the fusion training and it was awesome. I totally rocked at it because I loved it. I loved mixing yoga and fitness. And then I just kept teaching. I ended up being a fitness director, sales manager, and personal trainer manager at Gold's Gym for quite a few years, and had my run at that. And then just ended up now skipping along, teaching tons and tons of yoga, moving through a lot of energy, a lot of self-limiting beliefs, a lot of shame, moving through a lot of trauma, just so much, moving through so much and digesting and learning as I digested and eliminated not only physical, but emotional, spiritual, mental. So all of that. And now it brings us to today, hanging out in my private yoga studio that I have created called Chia Chief Studio. Definitely a space that is sacred, that is safe, and that holds a lot of reverence and grace and compassion for everyone who steps in, including myself. So I'm very thankful to be here. But yet, if I wasn't able to go through that journey and just allow the ebbs and the flows, there's no way I'd be here right now. Okay. Only focusing on the destination. Okay. It's wonderful to have an intention, an intent, a goal, right? Something to be disciplined for. However, if that's the only thing that's driving you, sometimes we miss out on the importance of the now. And this all brings me back to talking about breath. Because when we are not cognizant of our breath, and we will forget through the day, it's natural, but that doesn't matter that we forget through the day. What matters is that we come back. We always circle back to the present moment once in a while to tap in to this present state of awareness and state of consciousness, because that's all we have. That's all we have right now is right now. And to me, that's what yoga really helps with. Okay. All right, so that's sort of a little timeline. I didn't really expect to talk about that, but that sort of came out. So that's sort of my background a little bit in a nutshell. So let's see what the cards has to say. This was a jumping card. Oh, Kapha. Okay, this card keeps coming up quite a bit. So Kapha is okay, so this card today, this morning, because it's early for some of us, for some of you it's not, for some of you maybe you're not even out of bed yet, and you're watching this as a recording. So moving forward, Kapha is going to help remind us to come back to this present moment. So let's find out how that even works. Okay, Kapha is going to be our reminder just for today. Okay, is going to be our reminder of how to get back to the present moment. So if you're not sure what Kapha is in yoga, and you learn this through the yoga teacher training quite a bit, let's say we have elements, right? We're all surrounded by elements. We are elements. Okay, so Kapha is earth element. Okay, Kapha is heaviness. In Guna yoga, Kapha is represented by tamas guna, and that is earth element. So when you think about earth element, I think Kapha is earth and a little bit of water as well. So earth element, it grounds us. It's gravity. It's inertia. It's our human body. We need that for that stability and solidity, just like I was talking about. Okay. If we jump into something without thinking about it, sometimes it works out, but sometimes it doesn't. And if that's our default, to jump in like head first without even looking, well, sometimes that's not really, it cannot be beneficial for us sometimes. Okay. Because then all we're doing is living from action. We're not living from intention. Okay. And we want to try and find some type of balance for intention and action. So Kapha is the earthy dosha. It's grounding, it's heavy. Yeah, it's nurturing. We need a certain amount of solidity and balance in our life to be able to find pleasure. And this is, I love teaching this. Okay. Hang on a sec. I'm just going to go into the next pose. I love this. I think this is an awesome way to practice yoga. I love it. Okay, so finding the balance. Once you find the solidity within yourself, within the energy inside of you, within the surroundings outside of you, then you can start to feel a sense of pleasure. And it's really challenging to find a sense of pleasure when we don't feel safe. Okay, I'm going to say that again because that's important. It can be a challenge to feel pleasure when we don't feel safe. So that's why this earthy dosha, this kapha, is important. Yet we can become very entranced in the heaviness of it, sleeping for 3 days, not going out, not moving, hoarding things that we don't even need, that just take up space. Okay, so that's Kapha. So where's the book? Let's see what the story says about Kapha as far as finding stability. Okay, let's see if this will work. Am I gonna lay? Okay, I'm gonna try this. I don't think this will work. Hang on a sec. The beautiful part about yoga too is you get to be creative. So you get to play with blocks and straps, and it's like a little playground. I'm not really sure if my head's going to go down this far. Oh yeah, I think I can. I think I can. Okay, I'm going to try that. Wedge that in. I love props. Love props. Because that's support, right? Props are support. We're being supported. Being supported is awesome because then we can start moving through these other energies when we're supported. Okay, it's just a matter of how to read it. I'm going to have to turn my head a bit. I don't really want to. So this is obviously not going to work right now. So I'm just going to stay here and watch how creative I am. There we go. Made it. Okay. So you are grounded into Earth's energy and Earth's stability and its subtle calmness, which makes Others naturally gravitate toward you. Okay, cool. You bring peace, understanding, and comfort to your community, and you are the shoulder anyone can lean on. You embody Earth's wisdom and are anchored to her vast life force. You may have created a life or are envisioning one that will bring you great contentment and stability. Isn't that amazing? A true home surrounded by people that you love is also what you're going to be connecting into. You do not need to search for more. The deepest peace you will find is where you are. Just remember never to be too attached to anything. All is temporary. Okay, so that is our teaching in closing, and I'll close this live, is that we do want to acknowledge that breath is in our present moment. We want to be present and we want to feel steady as we can in this present moment to be able to move. If we start attaching ourselves to the present moment, to material objects, to the emotions that are meant to move through us, then sometimes it becomes unbalanced. So I ask you for the rest of the day, how can you check in? What can you do to check in with the stability that you have within your breath? Beautiful. Thank you for sharing some morning yoga and a card pull with me. I will be here tomorrow because I offer this After Sweat and Serenity, which is a morning online kettlebell yoga 30-minute series that I offer. And there's information on sheachievesstudio.com as well. We're starting the spring session next week, and we meet online 7 to 7:30 Mountain Standard Time. Kettlebell yoga, 30 minutes. What a great way to start the day with a refreshing holistic mindset. So there's lots of opportunity to shift into a higher frequency if you want, if you have willingness. Check out sheachievesstudio.com for wisdom, journey, and ceremony. I say namaste, peace out. I love you all. Sat Nam. The work here is now done. Thank you. Awesome. That was so amazing. I'm going to crawl. So my head is still in the video. There we go. I love you all. I shall see you again. Sat Nam.